This is a great program that our Tennessee Highway Safety Office has put together along with the Highway Patrol to emphasize the problem of distracted driving. This is for awareness as much as it is education and enforcement. We hope to accomplish all those goals in this bus tour around the state. Distracted driving, as the Commissioner said, is, in my opinion, the #1 traffic safety issue in the country right now. Drunk driving has always been a serious issue for us, and it will continue to be. Seatbelt usage will continue to be a focus of ours, along with hazardous moving violations that kill people. But distracted driving is really at an epidemic portion. If you ride down the interstate nowadays, you'll see 7 or 8 or 10 people doing something in their car that takes away from their attention span in doing the most important job they have, which is driving safely. And we're not just talking about cell phones or electronic devices, although that's the major factor. Talking about, like the Commissioner said, eating, drinking, looking at a letter, typing on an iPad, reading a book, combing your hair, putting on makeup. I've seen all these things within the last 30 days. So it's a big problem. We can articulate that about 12% of our crashes are because of some sort of distraction. But I can tell you from our professional experience, that number is much higher. It's probably closer to 50%. 50% of our crashes are probably distracted driving related, although we can't articulate that with fact, because nobody walks up to you at a crash scene and admits it. No one raises their hand and says, "My fault, I was looking at my cell phone, I hit that guy in the rear end." They don't do that. And I can tell you this, that we have about 1,000 people killed every year in Tennessee. We have over 500 one-car fatality crashes last year. That's 500 crashes that we really don't have any explanation for. They've run off the road, they've hit a tree or a fixed object or flipped over or done some sort of action that's killed them. And we have no explanation of why it happened. And I make this point to you today that many of them, probably most of them, are because of some sort of distraction. Looking away from the road, paying attention to something that you're not supposed to be doing, and running off the road and having some tragedy happen. If we could just solve the problem of distracted driving, we would lower our fatality rate drastically in Tennessee, probably by as much as 25 or 30%. So it's a huge problem for us. We're concerned about it. To be completely honest with you, we're having a difficult time getting our arms around the problem because it's so prevalent with so many age groups. It's not just the young kids, although they're the worst offenders. They don't think they can live without an iPhone in their hands. They text to people in the back seat, you know, when they can just talk. So it's a huge problem in that age group, and we do a lot of things educationally wise in our high schools and even in our middle schools to educate people about not driving distracted. But it's becoming a much bigger problem for our older generation now that they become addicted to iPhones and electronic devices. So it's not just a one generation problem. It reaches across all age groups, especially when you get into the fact that, you know, people are putting on makeup and combing your hair and eating a hamburger, trying to maximize their time as they drive down the road. But remember this, you know, the average text message or dial on a phone is about 4 seconds. You're looking away from the road for 4 seconds. You can travel the distance of many football fields at highway speed during that 4 seconds that you have no control of the direction of your car. And a lot of things can pop up in front of you, a lot of things that can happen that you won't be able to recover from. And I'll leave you with this. You know, 1 or 2 seconds can change your entire life. Whether you injure yourself where you're crippled or in a wheelchair, or you kill yourself or you kill someone innocently, it can change your life drastically. Something you're going to have to live with for the next 50 years. So I urge you to put your phones down. I urge you to pay attention to your primary responsibility, which is to get from point A to point B safely. I urge you to protect your family and protect all the other innocent drivers out on the roads by driving attentively. Thanks.